we expect Governor Romney to come in first. There's a very large Mormon population here. He actually got an absolute majority last time. I think our hope is that we may be able to come in second, although Ron Paul is a very organized.
That was Newt Gingrich on Greta Van Susteren show. Kellyanne Conway is a senior advisor to the Gingrich campaign. Brad Blakeman, Republican strategist and former special assistant to President George Bush, W. Bush, and Ellis Henican is a Fox News political analyst. Welcome to you all. Thanks for being here this evening. All right, guys, I'm going to throw this out so I don't have to talk so much. It looks like Mitt Romney is going to take the Nevada caucus tonight. He appears to be the top GOP frontrunner. Can he beat President Obama? Brad.
Absolutely. I think Romney is both selectable by the party and electable by the people. We saw that in the entrance polls in Nevada. People were saying they were looking for somebody who could beat Barack Obama and somebody who was electable. I think Romney is certainly well on the way in winning a decisive victory in Florida.
Yeah, but why did it take him so long to catch on, Brad?
Because this is a selection process. We don't anoint people. We go through a process of caucuses and primaries. We got to earn your vote.
Alice, that was a dig. Go ahead.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all night.
I guess,
That's the funniest thing I've heard all night.
He must be making it on his charisma then, right? That must be what it is.
That's part of it.
Listen, I have still not met somebody. There may be somebody out there. I've not met somebody who says, you know, I really love that Romney guy. I mean, I know people who say, well, he's the most electable, he's got some business cred, he can play to the middle. I mean, I get all these, like, calculated reasons that you can kind of like. You cannot look in the camera and say, I really love that Romney.
All right.
Mitt Romney.
You saw it tonight. Brad Blakeman. All right, Kellyanne, hit it. Let's hear it, Kellyanne.
It's just so funny. The fact is the Republican Party has an incredibly storied history, particularly in the last 20 years, of nominating the person who's next in line. And it was Mitt Romney's turn. John McCain lost in 2000. 8 years later, we let him run. Bob Dole lost in 88. 8 years later, he became the front runner and won. And won. This time it's Mitt Romney's turn. But you know what, folks? If you nominate Mitt Romney, you're going to get the result you got with Bob Dole and John McCain. They lost. They lost to Clinton and Obama.
All right.
This party does not want to nominate somebody who inspired Romney Care, who governed like a liberal as a governor of Massachusetts. And every time you nominate a moderate instead of a conservative, we lose, and we would lose to an incumbent. You got to think that through. This electability argument is silly. Ideas should trump inevitability.
Right.
That's what 2010. That's what 2010 was all about.
Come on, Kelly. You know, Kelly, that you have to be selected by the party before you're elected by the people. And the people right now are making their choices. The people are making their choices. The people of Florida have spoken. The people of New Hampshire have spoken. The people of Nevada have spoken. Are you saying they're wrong?
No, here's what they did.
Are you saying they're wrong in their choice?
I'll tell you what they did. They
Wait, we're not going to talk about the 2 states Romney lost? Those people don't matter, Brad?
Of course, but look at the momentum he's had in the West, the North, the South.
Momentum.
The Midwest.
But here's the problem.
This guy is what he's always been.
Kellyanne, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Here is the problem, and Alice, I'm going to let you go in a second. Newt Gingrich comes in last when it comes to the national numbers in terms of beating Obama. Ellis,
right? No,
how do you answer that one?
It's right because he appeals to the enthusiasts way over on the right. Some of Kellyanne's. But listen, here's the real problem. The conservatives made a tactical error here, right? There were just too many of them in the race, and and they're still slicing up the vote too many times. Romney is the kind of guy that's sort of okay, that everybody can come.
But does it matter in the general election? Is the question.
Well, does it? He's fine. I mean, I think he'll probably do better against Obama than any of the others will.
Who?
But he's still, Mitt Romney will, probably a little bit better.
All right.
But you know what? Nobody really loves the guy.
Which one?
I think Romney is certainly electable, and there are a lot of people who think the same way I do. Ask the people of Florida, ask the people of Nevada, ask the people of New Hampshire. He's been doing very well.
Yeah, but it's all calculation, isn't it?
It's
Nobody
okay.
really
Okay, Kellyanne, let me go back to you, Kellyanne. Mitt's endorsement by Trump this week, good or bad?
Well, according to a Politico Facebook poll, it was a net negative. They released a poll today that said 9% said they made them more positive towards Romney, 41% more negative, and 49% said no difference. That's one poll. But I have to go back to this conversation because I never hear a Romney supporter say, you know what, they always say Mitt Romney's electable. They never say he's got the best tax and growth plan. They never say he's the one who will repeal Obamacare with a straight face since he inspired it through Romney Care. It's always electability. 2010, shows the clues for what 2012 can be if we just allow it to be. In 2010, all of these lesser-known, underfunded candidates now sit in the U.S. Congress and the state houses. They were told, you're not electable,
but Kellyanne,
you
have
can't
to remember,
win. They ran
the
on a
object of the
message and they
game,
won.
the object of the game is not to have a candidate selected who can't beat Obama. The end game is to beat Obama, and we've got to have the best possible candidate to do it.
They can all beat Obama. There are
plenty of people who hate Obama, right? I mean, there's a good audience that hates Obama. But the people who like him, you'll never hear anybody say, well, yeah, because I can calculate that maybe he can do. People are actually drawn to the guy. They believe in things that he supports.
They believed in
like
him, and now he has a record. He's not standing on his record. What is he doing? He's pivoting. It's always somebody else's fault. It was Bush to blame for the first 2 years for you guys, and now it's class warfare.
Right.
It's the rich to blame.
All right, now listen, guys. None of the candidates seems to appeal to the Tea Party. How do the Republicans galvanize the Tea Party to get behind the candidate? Go ahead, Kellyanne.
Well, actually, I'm sorry for interrupting. I have a little bit of a delay. Speaker Gingrich has the endorsements of 130 Tea Party groups across the country. And so he does actually, in every single exit poll so far, he has carried the Tea Party vote. Nevada will probably be different because it was pretty non-competitive here. And Mitt Romney won Nevada last time and lost the whole nomination, so he ought to win it this time.
Right. I mean,
when it comes to the Tea Party, hold on, in 2010, the Tea Party ran again. They ran against the bailouts. They ran against Obamacare. How in the world are all of our freshmen who have to face re-election this year, who ran against Obamacare to win, going to be re-elected by defending Romneycare? It makes no sense. He's the Tea Party candidate.
Here's the problem with that. I mean, you're right that the Tea Party people are more drawn to a Gingrich than they are to Mitt Romney. On the other hand, there is nobody who thinks that Mitt Romney is too liberal that's going to support Barack Obama.
I agree with that. But guys, let me just get in here. Something very important. Speaking of endorsements, Nevada's world-known Bunny Ranch. And for those of you who've been living under a rock, the Bunny Ranch is a hooker ranch.
How does that
work? It's a brothel, Mom. It's a house of prostitution. Now, they came out with their endorsement. Guess who? Ron Paul. Can somebody explain? Look at this. Can someone explain this?
He wants to legalize prostitution. I think he wants to legalize
You know
it,
what? They're collecting tips, Brad, for Ron Paul. What does that tell you?
I would love to see that endorsement. Is Ron Paul going to go to the Bunny Ranch and seek that endorsement? That would be a great event.
Is he, Ellis?
It'll do him better than Donald Trump is doing Mitt Romney. You got to give the guy points for being consistent, right? He wants government out of our lives, including that part of our lives.
Yeah, that part of our lives. And so, Kellyanne, you think that the Bunny Ranch endorsement is not important in this race?
I hadn't actually thought about it until this moment, but it does tell you that not all endorsements are created. We're just happy Sarah Palin keeps telling voters of every state, if I lived in your state, I'd be voting for Newt.
But Kellyanne, answer me this: would you have taken Donald Trump's endorsement? Yes or no?
I can't speak for Newt.
Sure you would.
Come on, guys, I got to wrap. Love having you on, but